Let us see how to register and log in onto the portal. For registration, vendor will receive an email onto his email ID which is registered with OIL already. So vendor has to go to their email ID and they will see a subject line as OIL portal registration. You have to click onto the email and you will notice one register link and two special notes. So note says the invoice should be signed with class 3 digital signature with organization. That means all the invoices vendor are going to upload onto the portal should be signed with class 3 digital signature and it should have an organization name on it. Please note that this is mandatory for all the vendors uploading the invoices onto the portal. Also, this registration link will be valid for 48 hours upon the receipt of the invitation. So, let's go ahead and register onto the portal by clicking onto the registration link. Click onto the link and you will be redirected to the supplier registration page. Onto this page, if you can see, the email ID and the login ID and the supplier's organization name is non-editable fields which you cannot edit. And you can see the first name and the password fields are the mandatory fields to complete the registration. So let's go ahead. First, you have to enter your name, first name, your last name, your department, your functional role, your contact number, and then password. So for password, there is a specific guideline that you have to follow. The password should be of minimum 8 characters, which should include at least one uppercase, one lowercase, one number, and one special character. So anything if you entered apart from this guideline, an error message will be displayed. Also, if you want to verify the password what you have entered, you can click onto the I button. So you have to enter the password according to the guideline. And the same password you have to enter into the repeat password field. Once you enter the password, you have to click onto the register button. Once you click onto the register button, an OTP will be triggered at your registered email ID. So go back to your email where you will see one email with the verification code. So you have to copy the verification code and please make sure that this verification code is valid for only 15 minutes. Once the time limit exceeds, you need to register again. So go back to the URL and enter the OTP onto the OTP entering screen. Finally, click on submit. Once they click on submit, a message will appear as registration completed successfully. Please log in with username and password. Let us see how to log in onto the vendor portal. To log in onto the portal, vendor has to check their portal registration confirmation email. Once they click onto the email, they'll be able to see the login ID through which they have to log in onto the portal and also sign in link. To log in onto the portal, vendor has to copy this login ID and they can click on sign in to proceed further. So click on sign in. Once you click on sign in, login page will display. Here vendor has to enter the login ID onto the username and they have to put the password that they have set during the registration process. Once they enter the password, they have to click on login to complete the login process. So click on login to proceed further. Once you click on login, home page will display.